welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to show you how to make this Dollar Tree lighted wreath ball. Alright, so from the Dollar Tree I purchased these items. I purchased an 18-inch wreath. This has these little pine kind of little branches coming out of it. And I've purchased 3 of these. I also purchased 3 boxes of their 20 mini lights. These are clear and they are for indoor use only, so just keep that in mind. So if you want to hang this outside, you might want to look for some outdoor lights, and I did not find those at the Dollar Tree, so you're gonna have to go looking for those. You can get some inexpensive ones like at Walmart or Dollar General, stores like that. Okay, so this is a string of lights and it is 20 like it says on the box. I always like to take them out and plug them in and make sure they are working. Okay, also from the Dollar Tree, I got these. These are wired garland ties. You can use these for anything. I'm going to be using them on my wreath, and I'm going to be cutting them in half. Now, you can make your wreath ball nice and simple and plain and not decorated, but I'm going to decorate mine. So I've got here some poinsettias that I got from the Dollar Tree as well. You can get them from wherever you're shopping at. And here I've got some little berries, some little pine cones. Just grab an assortment of whatever it is that you like in your colors. And I've also got some hemp string here and some jingle bells, because I decided that I would like to hang some jingle bells for my wreath ball. This is completely optional if you want to do that or not. You don't even have to use the hemp string. You can use a thin ribbon if you want to do that, and your jingle bells can be any color, any size you want to use. You might even want to choose to hang a mistletoe off of it. Okay, so now I'm also going to be using some ribbons, and here I just have an assortment of ribbons that I already happen to have here in my home with different designs on them that I felt like, you know, this is what I basically want my wreath to have, the look that I want it to have. So I've just got some little ribbons here. These are from, I believe, from Hobby Lobby. I think I may have gotten this one from the Dollar Tree last year. I know that I got this one at the Dollar Tree this year. This is what the label looks like. I got this one from Hobby Lobby, the one with the little polka dots, but I did get this last year. Okay, and then this one I found this year at Target is from their little dollar spot, kind of a burlap ribbon. Okay, so these are the items that I'm going to use to create my wreath ball. I'm going to be using my wire cutters, scissors, and I'm also going to be using my hot glue gun with some glue sticks. So let's get to crafting. The first thing that I want to do is I want to take the 3 wreaths and I want to go ahead and fluff them up, because these are very flat. As you can see, all these little branches here are very flattened up against the wire. So I just want to fluff them up a little bit, make them look a little nicer, a little fuller. Now keep in mind that these can get crushed back down again, and then you'll have to fluff them up again. But it is so much easier if you do fluff them now and not after you've wrapped them with lights. So I'm going to take a string of lights for each one of these and wrap them up. Okay, so this is already done. It doesn't have to be perfect. Just spread them out as much as you can so that you can see the wire here. And it's very visible. It's not very full, so you're going to see that. We're going to take the string of lights. And here I have this little piece of pine, the garland ties that I bought. And I cut one in half. Well, I'm going to be cutting them pretty much quite a few of them in half. Okay, so let's get one of those ready, and we got our lights ready here. And I'm going to start off with the very first light here, and I'm just going to place it against my wreath, and then just kind of twirl one of these little branches around it to kind of hold that little light in place. Okay, so you want to do that first so it doesn't move on you, and then you can just start wrapping around. And just make sure that when you're wrapping it around that you go between the branches rather than trying to like squish one of the branches down, then you'll have this caught there. So make sure that you fluff them up, and wherever you're going to cross over, that you're crossing over the little branches and not over them. Like make sure you're crossing in between, and you're just going to do this and pull them nice and tight, because this string is just enough to go around this little wreath. Okay, so if you're going to find another wreath somewhere else and it's bigger than an 18-inch diameter, Make sure that you look at the length of your lighted, the string of lights. Look at the length and measure the circumference rather than the diameter. So you're gonna have to measure the circumference, because that is a different measurement from when it says it's 18 inches, it's meaning diameter across like that. That doesn't mean 18 inches around. So just keep that in mind. So you might need more than one string of lights, but then you want to make sure that you get the kind that can plug, one after the other, unless you don't mind having 2 plugs for each. Or you can just use battery operated ones. Okay, so I'm going to continue this all the way around, pulling on it because I don't want it to be loosely wrapped. I want it to be tight. Okay, and I'm coming here to the end. Yeah, I'm coming to the end now. And here's the last, or the first light, and here's the last one. And as you can see, there's quite a bit of space between them. I'm not going to worry about that because all the wreaths are all going to get connected at this point. So to keep this from moving around, this is why I cut this little piece here, this half. Now you might be saying, well, wait a minute, that doesn't quite look like it. It's a little bit different. It's okay, because we're going to use, like I said, I'm going to cut a few of them and I'm going to fill in little bare spots here and there on my wreath, wherever I feel like the wire just shows a little too much, I'm going to cover it. But we're not going to do that until we've got all of them wrapped with lights. So here's my first one wrapped in lights, and I'm going to have this string just coming out, the one from your plug-in, just coming out the top of it like that. And I've already wrapped up the other 3, or the other 2. So here I have 1, 2, 3 already wrapped with lights. Okay, so let me show you the next step. Okay, so for the next step, I've got more of these cut up. So I'm going to have them right here handy next to me. And I'm going to take these first 2 and see how the wire is right here coming up from the top. And then it's coming out from the top. Make sure you keep those 2 tops together, okay? Now these are wires, so you can bend them. So I'm going to move these little pine bits up a little bit here, and then the ones at the bottom, move them over. I'm going to feed this one. You align them first with the wires, but I'm going to feed this one into it, okay? And it's going to go in at a bit of an angle, okay? It's not going to be completely straight, so it's going to look something like this, okay? Like that. So it looks like at the bottom and then at the top. So at the top, just to keep it from falling apart, I'm going to wrap it up again with one of these. I'm just going to move the little branches out of the way and reach in there and just wrap it up, and I'm just going to tie it, just loop it around once, okay? Just to keep it together. You can do the same thing at the bottom, but if they're not moving around too much, then don't worry, because we might have to adjust the angles of how these are in a moment. Okay, so now we're going to take the third one, and I think you get the idea. Make sure our cords are up here at the top. And here's the third one. And I'm just placing it again right in that same spot, so I know that that's the middle. And then just move the pines out of the way. And now I'm going to slide this one in there, and I might have to bend it in a little bit to push it in or pull it through. Okay, so just make sure that all these are lining up right here, and there we have the 3 like that. Okay, so now you just have to move them around and space them so that they're nice and even. Let me go ahead and pull this one through a little bit more. So find the centers and make sure that they're all spaced. Because this is the overview. This is looking at it from the bottom, but it would be like basically looking at it from the top, and just make sure that they're crossing over like that, and also at what would be the top up here. Okay, and then you can use more of those tie backs, the garland ties, to tie it up some more and make sure they don't move out of place. So I'm going to use one down here at the bottom where the 3 of them meet, and just make sure that I'm grabbing all 3. Let me move around here so I can do this at your angle here. So here we go. I'm just going to feed this underneath, And it's going to be kind of tight, but that's okay. We're just going to wrap it right there. And then just, this is where I said you might have to poof it some more because it's going to get a little squished from all the handlings. Just poof up things, and then we'll worry about poofing it up some more at the end. Okay, so here's the top of it, and I've got these 3 cords here, and I don't want them to, you know, be all over the place, so I'm just going to roll them around, or you can braid them, whatever you want. Just roll them around together like that. And what I'm going to do, let me get some more of this tie backs. I'm going to go at the top and wrap one of these on there. Okay, and like I said, you can twist them together. And then you can just take a regular, like a little tie back, a plastic tie back, or the kind that you get like from your loaf of bread or whatever, and then just wrap them together just so they no longer, you know, flop around, just to keep them together. You could tie them up like this if you want, but I'm just going to go ahead and just do this. Okay, so the next thing you want to do is you want to take more of these stems, these garland ties, and we're going to cut more of them in half. And what I'm going to do with these is I'm going to go around and look at each one of these bits and see, you know, where does it look like it's a little bare, and then I can add an extra, and just keep doing that, filling it here and there. So just start with one of the wreaths first, like this one goes all the way over here, so here is the other part of it, and do that one first, and then do the next one, and then the next one, and just fill in little spots here and there as much as you want. Or if you don't want to, then don't fill them up, but don't worry about them also like moving out of place. It's going to get flat because it's just laying on your table. Okay, so let me go ahead and do that and fill it up some more so it looks a little fuller. Okay, so this is what the wreath ball is looking like right now. I have put some more of the little pine bits on it so it looks a little fuller. And like I said, you could leave it like as is, put a little bird in there. That would look really cute, like it's a cage, and then just hang this up wherever you want. But I'm going to decorate it, so I'm going to put some bows up at the top, and I'm going to put a little bit of bow and some jingle bells at the bottom, maybe a few little ribbons. So let's go ahead and build the bows and the jingle bells that I'm going to put on it. All right, I'm going to start by stringing up my jingle bells. I don't need them to hang too low, but I'm going to start with a string like that, and I'm going to fold it in half. You can just decide how long you want your jingle bells to hang. So I'm going to wrap one end on one of the jingle bells, tie it up nice and secure. You can put some hot glue on there if you want. I'm going to tie up the next one. I love the way jingle bells sound. Like I said, you can put some mistletoe. It'd be cute to hang it somewhere in a nice tall doorway or out in your porch. And I always like to hang things like at different levels, so I'm going to pull this one down a little bit. One a little bit longer than the other, and then the other one can hang about right here. And then of course I need enough length so I can knot it through. So I could do that. One more. There we go. Okay. And then that one can hang about right there. And then I could just bring all these together and make a little knot, leaving that little loop. That's why I folded one of them, the string for two of them. I folded it in half so that I could end up with this little loop on there. Do you see that? A little loop. So just knot them nice and tight, and they're all hanging at different levels, and that's kind of what I want. Okay, so I can just take a piece of chenille stem. Let me get, here we go. I can get a piece of chenille stem and just cut a small piece, put it through the little loop there, and then I can wrap it around one of the wreaths on the wire or on a little branch of the wreath at the bottom. That'll attach that. So let's go ahead and just give this a little twist here so it'll stay there. Now let me create some little bows. But first let me go ahead and snip off some of these from here. I'm going to move this little branch on here. I don't need the leaves. I'm just going to cut it kind of short because this is all going to get hot glued onto my wreath ball somehow. This one doesn't have one, but just cut it. I want to cut it long enough so that I have something to glue it on, or you can just glue it from the actual little pine bit. And here's a little branch with some berries and some extra berries. And I'm just gonna, I can either save these leaves or just toss them away. My poinsettias also have a little, I'm gonna cut about a couple of flowers from here, and I'm gonna go ahead and leave the leaves. I'm just gonna push them up, and again, cut them short because you don't really need the stem. So I'll cut 2 for now. I might need more. But for now, I'm just going to cut those. Okay, now I want to make some bows. So I want this ribbon for sure. I love it. It's got some print on it. And I like that what it says on it. It says, Merry Christmas, joy to the world, happy holidays, greetings, Noel. You know, it's got some really nice little messages on there. I love ribbons like this. Okay, so I'm just going to make a very kind of small bow. So just a little bit of a tail. Pinch and twist, make a little loop, pinch it. I think I'm just going to do 3 loops on it. And I think I want to make 2 of this particular ribbon. I think I want to make 2 bows, and I'll show you why I'm making 2 bows rather than, I'm just going to cut this in half because I don't need a long bit of chenille. I'm not going to wrap it around. I'm actually just going to hot glue it onto the top of the ball. Anyway, instead of making 1 big bow to go at the top, I'm going to make 2 small ones because it's like 1 on one side and then 1 on the other, or you could do 3 depending on how much you need. But I do want to use the other ribbons, kind of coordinate them in there. Okay, so here's 1 little bow. Let's bring all these upward like that, and that back, and there's a bow right there. Okay, all right, so then I'm going to do another one of this one, and I'm going to do a few, maybe 1 more with this one, and then a few with these other smaller ribbons. Okay, so I'll bring out the ball, and then we'll decide how many bows and such we need once we have that out. Okay, I'll be back with that. Okay, so here I've got the ball back on my table. That is the top. I'm looking from a different angle now because I'm being a little lazy. I didn't want to get dressed yet. I will get dressed for the intro and the outro. But right now, I'm kind of a mess. So please excuse this different angle with all that mess in the back, and I hope it doesn't distract you from seeing what's going on here in the front. Okay, so I've made extra little bows here. These here. And this one as well. So these I'm going to attach to the very top. So I'm just going to hot glue them. You could just wire them down if you want to do that, and then just easily take this all apart so that you can put it away at the end of the season or the holidays. But I'm just going to go ahead and hot glue them on. So let's take the hot glue here, or the hot glue gun. You just put some glue. And just make sure that when you're gluing this down, that you're not like gluing it on these wires here. Try to get it on some of the pine here. If you have to like roll up the pine there and just make like a little bedding area there, then do that. So that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to put that one on one side. And I made another one just like it, about the same size, to put opposite. So I want these lights, these strings, to come out from the center, okay? So everything was going to be around it. So I'm just going to push them this way for now. So now I can have this little area, and I'll get these little pine bits here kind of folded. And then I'm just kind of rolling up the chenille, just rolling it in itself. And that's where I can put some glue to glue this bow down. You're really going to decorate it however you want, okay? Just going to give you an idea of what I'm doing. Look how pretty that already looks with just these 2 bows, really. Hello, come back. Cords. And then I just want to make sure that the cords are in the middle. So I'm going to push these bows in a little bit more. There we go. And the cord is coming out right from between them. And look at that. That already looks really pretty. Now, don't pay too much attention to the fact that this is getting flattened because it is on my table right now and it is getting pushed down. So when I hang it, I'll just align them, you know, spread them out nice and even, and then I'll poof them up a little bit better. So just keep in mind that it might look like a mess right now, but once it's hanging, it's going to look really nice. Okay, so I made some extra bows, and I thought that I would hang these from the bottom. So I took the same ribbon that I used here, and then one with the little snowman, and I'm going to use that at the bottom. So just going to twirl them together, and put them like that. But first, I'm going to get my my jingle bells. I think I'll just do that at the very last. So let's put those out of the way for now. I had also cut some little string ribbon here that I wanted to hang from the bottom. So I'm going to make some of loops out of this one here to add in here to kind of coordinate with the ones that I'm going to put at the bottom. But I'm just going to do like one loops. So just grab it like that and then just cut. And then just tie it right there. And I'm going to actually cut these. I cut the chenille stems in half, but I'm actually going to cut it again, so I can just have like a little piece of chenille. Okay, and then just tie that, and then do little dovetails at the bottom here. So I just have that, okay, and then I can just hot glue those into different spots here and there on my bow, or in between these, just to bring that ribbon up to the top. Okay, I'm going to put it right in between because I like the way that looks. Okay, so I'm just putting some glue on it. There we go, right there. And just put it in there and just do whatever you want. I'm going to go ahead and take the flowers as well so I can know where these are going to go. I'm going to bend the stem on them a little bit like that, and I put lots of glue on it. Lots of glue, and then just tuck that in, and I think I'm going to tuck them in kind of at the sides here. Just tuck them in, not too far so they don't get, you know, the flower doesn't get crushed. Okay, I'm going to do it on the other side as well. I'm going to do it on this side. Okay, once you've got them on, and then you look at it, you know, from the top and the sides, if there's any little spots that look bare, then that's where you're going to reach in and glue your little pine cones. And if you add a little more extra ribbons, you can go ahead and do that. I'm going to add a little pine cone. Not necessarily because it's a bare, well, it is kind of a bare spot. Get it in there. Open up the flower, make sure it's not crushed. Add a little pine cone right in there. Okay, so I'm just going to keep doing that. I'm going to make another one loopy, like that one, loopy. I'm going to make one more loop and then just put it right in here so that it kind of brings that ribbon over. And I'm pretty sure I want to use this burlap one, so I'm probably going to make just like a double loop little bow with this one and put it in there. As well as using these smaller ribbons, I can just make like multiple loops. Like just take it and just loop it. I'm going to be saying loop it, loop it, loop it. Okay, just make a bunch of little loops. You don't even have to do the little twisty bit. And then a little piece of chenille. And now these I'm just going to cut the ends like at an angle rather than doing the little dovetail. So I'm just going to make little loops like this so I can go ahead and also fill in here and there and just make it look more festive. And I'm going to do the same thing with this white one because I do want to bring this white into it also to highlight it because our snowman ribbon does have that on there. Okay, I'm going to do that and I'll be back once this is finished and then we'll do the bottom with the jingle bells. Alright, so here is the ball right now and I've done all of the top of it and just tucked in some ribbons here and there, and of course the little berries that I cut off, and that's what that looks like. So now we want to do the bottom here, so let's turn this around And we're going to do the bottom. So I had taken the Jingle Bells and I had added a little bit of a chenille stem there. We can just tie it onto something here at the bottom, and or hot glue it, but I'm going to tie this, just twist it onto there. And then I made these two bows that I kind of attached to each other, and then I've got some ribbon bits here, another little bow, a couple of little bows, and maybe just this one pine that I'm going to add. So let's go ahead and put those on there as well. I'm just going to fold this in half and put a little dot of glue on here. Let me get my glue gun over here and a glue stick, excuse me. So let's get some glue on there. Just glue it in there. Just don't burn your fingers when you're reaching in there. There we go. And I'm going to glue this guy, this bow. Just push it in. And then I want these to come out right in the middle. So that's that. And then I've got this little bow. And I'm just going to put it on the other side to kind of make sure that these things get pushed to the middle. Try not to glue it on a little light. There was a little light right there. Try not to glue it to that. And then I just got these extras. This little pine cone, I'm going to put it right in the middle here. I'm going to poke that in like that. And then I can add these last two little loopy bows. Let me just roll that up a little bit right there. Let's see. One right here, and then one on the other. I didn't cut the, there we go, the little edges. And then I'm put one on the other side. Oh, running out of glue. That's the one thing about little mini glue guns, is that you run out of glue pretty fast. So there we go. That's on there now. But like I said, you can just wire everything down. Just easier for me, I think, that just to use my hot glue gun and just reach in there and glue everything rather than be tying each little piece. But that's that. And that's how that will hang at the bottom. Okay, so that I am done decorating it. Of course, you could run some ribbon around each of these, make it a little more decorative if you want. You could hang something from the inside of it if you want. Maybe put a little bird or a nest in there. I think that would look really cute. I don't think I have a nest. I might have some little birds, but I don't have any little nests to put in there. Otherwise, I definitely do that. Just put whatever you want in there if you want to. Like I said, you could also just hang some mistletoe from the bottom instead of the Jingle Bells. Okay, so let's see what this looks like at a better angle. All right, everyone, this is my completed lighted ball wreath. I believe that's what I said I was going to call it. It is from the Dollar Tree. Some of the items are not, but you can find everything at the Dollar Tree to complete it. Of course, I use items that I already have here at home, so instead of spending more money, I just use that. And of course, if you have some items at home, just use that. Don't go spending any extra money. Use little bits of leftover ribbons and just put them all on there. Make it really fun and festive. If you want to hang something in there, like I said, maybe a little bird will look really cute. Maybe a mistletoe here. Now, right now, I've got it hanging against a flat wall. So if I let it go, it kind of goes off like at an angle, so it doesn't look very nice. So that's why I'm holding it up so that it stays, you know, in a more straight position so that you can enjoy it and look at it a little bit better. And of course, you'd want to poof up all your little greenery and make sure that none of it is flattened up once you've hung it. You can hang it anywhere. Hang it in a doorway, hang it in your entryway from the ceiling if it's high enough, or even if the entryway is high enough, or even if it's not high enough but it's wide enough where you can maybe hang it to the side and everyone can walk in through, you know, on the side of it. But like I said, it would be really cute if it did have some mistletoe so they can stop and give each other a little kiss. You could also hang this out by your porch, but just remember that you make sure you use outdoor lights for it. If you have a covered porch, well, then it doesn't really matter. Well, anyway, that's it, everyone. I'm going to give myself a big old thumbs up. I hope that you too will give me a big old thumbs up. And you guys, I do have my husband who's going to be appearing in at least one fun video. So I'm hoping that maybe he'll do a little bit more. So make sure you give me a thumbs up so I can show you, look, all these people like that idea of you being in the videos. So I can get him in there because he's hilarious, you guys. Anyway, thank you everyone who has been subscribing. Make sure you hit that little notification bell. And that'll let you know when I put up my videos, which is every Tuesday and every Friday. Right now, I'm not really necessarily doing recipe videos because I'm trying to do Christmas videos. So if you want to also leave a suggestion down below. Also, starting for next year, I've had a couple of people ask me already for some ideas. So if you want to go and leave your suggestions of what things you'd like to see starting for the new year, little craft ideas or even recipe ideas, go and leave that in the comments down below. Make sure you share on your social medias, and as always, enjoy.